up, y'all? Started raining on me out here, so figured I'd take a minute, give the dogs a little break for a minute. Everybody get a break, and we're gonna get back at it. Sunshine or rain, we getting back at it. So I wanted to say something on here just because I wanted to say it on my page. I posted a post in a group chat, dog group chat, and I said, if the person you're buying your dog or dogs from can't set you up with a transport, that's a red flag. Wow. The way that went. The way that went. Listen to me. What that means is I did not realize how simple it had to been broke down for it to be comprehended. That's my fault. My bad. My bad. That does not mean that the kennel or the person, the breeder, whoever it is you're getting your dog from should be the one transporting your dog. That does not mean that. That does not mean that it's not better for you to get up and go get the dog or dogs yourself. That does not mean that it's not better for you to go see who you're purchasing from and what you're purchasing before you purchase it. That's common sense. That's common knowledge. But if you live in New Mexico, but you're trying to get a dog from New York, you're probably not going to be able to make that drive. So you may ask, well, sir, do you know any transports or any ways to get this dog down here? If the person says, no, I do not, why is that a red flag? Because that most likely means the person's not doing business like that. Listen to me now. That doesn't mean the person's peddling. That's not what that means. But if I have good dogs in my hands and they're working good for me, they're doing what I want them to do, they're winning shows or whatever you want to call it. If they're doing that for me, that's great. But if I haven't put them in somebody else's hands yet, and they're not doing that same thing, see what I'm saying? So if I'm buying something from somebody who has yet to put their dogs in anybody else's hands, anybody, red flag. Why is that a red flag? Again, the dogs aren't really being tested where they need to be tested at. They're just at home. They're just at home. They're not going in different, yeah. Come on now. So, that means that person is not making the connections or that person is burning them bridges or whatever the case may be. That person may be bad business. But I'm telling you, you don't get in this game, you don't get in this dog world, you don't rub shoulders with these people and not have no contacts. And if you are that person with no contacts and you've been doing this, you probably burnt a lot of bridges, be honest. And that's why you don't have nobody to recommend. But if you've been doing this and somebody hits you up for a dog and they live in New Mexico and you live in New York and they can't make that trip, you can't make that trip right now, the time it just ain't right for whatever reason, that person should be able to say, hey, here's a couple of transporters you can hit up. You can try them. Now, this is when people say, oh, well, if the transport goes wrong, then they're going to blame the bot, the seller, and la. Listen to me. Listen to me. This goes back to the other video about do you deserve to eat? People talking about my dog don't work, don't eat, but you scared to work. Listen to me. If the dog turns out to be not what the buyer is looking for. You know, when they buy a puppy and then that dog is 4 or 5 years old and they don't like it no more, that dog ain't doing what it's supposed to do. What they do? What do? Blame the seller. So that's a gamble regardless. So why am I willing to take one gamble just to get your money, but not willing to take another gamble just to try to help you? Again, red flag. They don't want to tell y'all that. Everybody in their feelings, everybody hurt, everybody tough guy, everybody woo, 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 woo. Yeah, that's, come on, listen to me. If you hitting up somebody and you talking about talking to somebody, because there is new people trying to get in this game. Duh. Come on, man. It was like, oh, there's always some newbie. Duh. Weren't you a newbie at one point? Because you wasn't around 50 years ago. Come on, man. Yeah, people. That's why they say, hey. No, what they say, we love dogs more than we love people. This is why. Think, man. Ought to be yapping. So, when these new people come in, of course they need guidance. So if I say something like, if your seller can't set you up with a transport, the ones that have been doing this should know what I'm saying. That doesn't mean the seller transports itself, no. But if you need help, I know people, man. You know what? Let me guide you the right way. This is a good guy over here. Now, if his tire blows out on the road and he ends up a week late for the transporter, how am I supposed to know that? If you come to me saying, oh, that's my fault, what am I going to do? Well, you ain't going to hurt my feelings. Sorry you feel that way, man. I was trying to help you out. You could have called anybody else. In fact, I gave you 3 or 4 different numbers and told you to call all of them and figure out which one you want to do and to talk to them. You made the decision. You ain't going to scare me away. Stop it. I'm not one of them. So, again, if you getting a dog from somebody, spending your time, your money, and they don't want to share knowledge with you because they scared of you pointing the finger back at them, red flag, you talking to the wrong person. Tell me I'm lying.